Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Yeah, welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world and counting. Must have said that thousands of times. Oh my goodness, got a little clicker, clicker, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000.
Have you
Anyway,
counted
yeah,
how
it's
many
the
shows
easy
you've done?
talk. Say again, Raj?
Have you counted how many shows that you've done?
No, I haven't.
Okay,
I
it'd
haven't.
be interesting to find that out, is it?
Well, there's 859 videos on Cannon Fodder, so I don't know if that gives you any sort of idea.
There's been quite a few days. we're in the four digits. The four digits.
Okay,
But
cool.
Anyway. So yes, the crazy gang are back. Almost the crazy gang. I think the Don Larry won't be making it this time. Is having some problems with his Wi-Fi. But listen, we've got a good stand-in in Des. Yeah, Des McLeod, the enforcer. Don't mess about with me. I've got my enforcer right here, somewhere down there. Down there. Anyway, guys, I'll see you on the other side when we do the actual formal introductions. That's familiar faces. Yes, welcome back to Cannon Fodder, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this world. Before we get into this one, make sure, guys, that you subscribe to the channel, the community. It's a community over here, not so much a podcast. Is it a podcast, Raj? It is, isn't it? Really?
I guess it's probably say vodcast, isn't it? Because it's like exclusively available on YouTube. Is that right? Are you on any other platforms? Yeah, so I guess we call it a vod.
Facebook, Twitter.
Yeah.
It's a podcast. Stroke community. Anyway. Just subscribe. Be part of the community. Stroke podcast. Anyway, let's get into this one. Returning back, the chairman of the board, MOBAY. What's happening, brother? What's happening, man?
We here, man. We here. You know, we off the bench, as Roger would say. We're back off the bench. You know, I was in the stands for a minute. I moved to the bench. Now I'm on the field, man. So we're here. Let's get
it. Listen. Make sure you score a hat trick for me, at least. Yeah. Responded. All right, Raj, North Bank Ninja. It's been a while. Welcome back, man.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Yeah, it has been a while. And time just flies by still in lockdown, doesn't it? But really happy to be back and good to see you guys. I've missed you guys very much.
Brilliant. And of course, the recent favourite is Des, the enforcer. How's it going, man?
Good evening, mate. Good evening to the community. Here again with legends, guys. I cannot be even more grateful than I always am. Here with legends who know their stuff. It's just going to be fun, guys. Join in because you're going to love it.
Brilliant. There you go. So yeah, there was some business last night. We beat Slavia Prague 4-0.
Slavia who?
Yeah, that team. Also in red and white. But before I get into the nitty gritty, MOBAY, I want you to look at this image here and tell me your thoughts on this image here. What comes to your mind when you see this? Your guy, Lacazette, taking a knee.
My guy, man. I couldn't listen. When I saw that, I couldn't be more proud. I missed the first couple minutes of the game, so I didn't really see the warm up. I didn't see the kneeling. I didn't see any of that. So once I was watching the game and I was on Twitter and this image started coming across, man, chills down the spine, man. I couldn't be more proud of him. The only thing would have been better if the whole Arsenal team would have did that and kneel in front of him. That would make it even more powerful. But for sure, man, I was proud of my guy for doing that, man. Those guys, it's just good to get him out the competition. I hope to not see him ever again, really, playing in Europa or the Champions League, man. These guys are bottom of the barrel, if you ask me, for sure.
And Raj, your thoughts as well on regards, to this image, like is that taking a knee in front of, that team just not taking a knee. Your thoughts?
Yeah, this is probably the most powerful image of the football season so far. At least one of the most powerful images I've seen in football from what I can, remember. And I think that it's important to remember in the Europa League, it's not an expectation for teams to take the knee. So the fact that the Arsenal are doing it, and a lot of teams do it, they do it because they want to do it. They do it because they want to show their solidarity in this effort around equality. And it's not like the Premier League where actually I think the expectation is basically you all do it. And and so I know that Prague have sort of said, well, no, this is how we take a stand. This is how we do it. I'm not completely convinced with the club's actions, given the dealing of what had happened against Rangers, that absolute abhorrent behaviour by that individual, I think was just empowered by some of the club's behaviour afterwards. And I'm not convinced that that group that are standing there, call me harsh, I'm not convinced that they're standing there because they're trying to be defiant against racism. I think they, I wasn't very impressed, put it this way. I think that I was so proud of Laka, so proud of the team, and it was lovely to see 4 black scorers on the list. Well, 3 black scorers, but all goals scored by black players. I love that. I loved every minute of it.
Yeah, brilliant. Des, you can just remind us of your thoughts. The image last night,
Powerful. I mean, I just can't put it. I can try and put it into words, but I can't as well. Do you know what I mean? Because that's how powerful it was. It was like Lacazette is the new Black Panther. That this is the Arsenal hacker, if you know what I mean. If you were going to compare it to something, it'd be the Arsenal hacker. I genuinely think, I respect the man even more now. He could start Arsenal forever if he wanted to now because of what he's done. And he should get a statue outside the Emirates in that position. Just in that position with a ball near him or something. I think that would be a very, very, very powerful statue. And I think he deserves that. And to me, I said it earlier in your video earlier, Alex, he's just by doing that, as good as he is as a footballer, he's gained himself legendary status.
Yeah.
And a talisman for Arsenal that it's going to be a moment. It's going to be one of those moments in history where Arsenal fans and other people around the world will just remember it for a very, very long time. That's how I feel about it.
Here. Right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. MOBAY, so we ran out 4-0 winners. I mean, what was your prediction for the game? I think you actually said on Twitter that we've got this. We've got this, guys.
Yeah, man. When we draw the game last week, me and Roger was talking. I was like, it's just halftime. And I told him, I was like, we're gonna wipe. If we take our chances, we're gonna wipe these guys out. Me and him was talking last week after the game. Everybody, I was disappointed just like everyone else. But you can just see the two teams on the team. We were just a better team. There's no way over 2 legs they're gonna be that lucky. We should have won 4-0 last week when we played the first leg. The amount of chances that we had, clear goal scoring chances that we had, just to take our chances. They're not a very good team, and you could have saw that. But you know how we are. We're as Arsenal fans, man. We always expect the worst. Yes, I was nervous. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it was going to be easy. But the start that we had, me and Rogers talking yesterday again. I was like the first 10 minutes and the game from 10 to 20 was 2 different teams. I was literally on Twitter like, when do Arsenal play? Because there is no way this is my team out here playing. These are not the same players that we've been watching all season. But I take that back because then you look at it and say, we've seen this in glimpses at times. We've seen the first half at Wolves. We were unplayable when we played against Wolves in the first half until Luis got that red card and then everything just went, south. We see when we play Chelsea at home. It's different kind of performances you see from Arsenal from time to time. We say, we can do this, but taking that game into that was a perfect result for me. Seeing the players that get on the score sheet, Lacazette, he's on form right now, scoring goals. Seeing Nicolas Pepe doing his business, not just the goal that he scored, but he was pretty good. I always thought that up on the wings, him playing on the left with Saka on the right. I always think that going forward until Martinelli get up to full speed, I think playing with 2 wingers does help us. And I say that all the time. I'm a big fan of Aubameyang. You guys know I'm a big fan of Lacazette, but I think there are 2 strikers, and that's what they should stay as, like not playing both of them together. 4 managers try this. It just doesn't work. And I'm not going to bash any one of them more than the other. I just think that they're strikers. They suit different games. There's games where Lacazette is better than Aubameyang for, and there's game that he's going to be better than Lacazette for. But I don't think we should try to fit both of them in the team. And it's kind of unfair on Aubameyang because he's playing out on the left, doing something that he's not supposed to even be doing. But then we all, complain that he doesn't do the work that he's supposed to do. He's a goal scorer, the best one that we have at the club. And I don't think he get enough respect. But other than that, man, this game, it was perfect for us. Give credit to Arteta. When I saw that team, man, I was like, this club. I saw the team and I saw the back four, Granit Xhaka at left back. I'm not no doubt about it. I was not happy with the team. I was not happy to see Martinelli on the bench. But I know we have to take time with him too. He does seem to get hurt a lot in game. We don't mention it a lot, but he goes down in pain and scare the crap out of us every game. You see him go down and holding something. He is like, it's gonna be another 4 or 5 months. You're so happy to see him get up and run. So I do think we got to protect him a little bit, but perfect result for us yesterday. I was very happy with that.
Yeah. Raj, where have these performances been? Where have they been? We've got like 12 losses this season. Where have these performances been? Where have these players been?
It's a really good question, Alex. It's we talked to MOBAY mentioned about flashes. We had the Wolves game. There's been some halves, some periods. The second half of the West Ham game. It really feels like something clicked with the manager and the players, where they basically said a couple of things. One, let's really trust our technical quality. Let's really go out with confidence, and let's not be complacent with regards to the focus we need to show when we get into that final third. And what I really loved about yesterday was the focus we showed in that final third. It was a bit weird, the first 10 minutes being kind of fairly tepid, and then all of a sudden something clicked and went bang, But in that, after it clicked, I was so impressed with the details when we got into that final third, and just and that's what we lacked, Alex, to be honest. I think it was just a real feeling from the players, from the manager, that every moment counts, and you miss chances at this level, you pay for it. And we paid for it in the first leg, and conceded a silly equalizer at the end, but we paid ultimately, as MOBAY said, for not taking chances, and we absolutely didn't do that last night. We took them, and we took them so well.
But do you not think, Raj, it could be part of this reason why we haven't seen this performance, because maybe Arteta has tinkered a little bit too much? I mean, I can't remember when was the last time you'd see the same 11 playing maybe 3 games or back-to-back games. I can't remember if that's actually happened.
Yeah, I think particularly with the defensive structures. I mean, on the Arsenaholics podcast recently, I sort of mentioned that I think Arsenal have changed their back four combination 27 times this season, and that's just kind of unheard of. In terms of stability, in terms of just the kind of old adages of playing the same team and getting that familiarity and getting that continuity, we've not really done that. So you are right. Partly, I wonder whether it's because he's come through the Guardiola kind of camp of thinking, and Guardiola is very much a man who picks his team depending on that game and doesn't really believe in playing the same 11 ever. When did Man City ever do it? I think Arteta's realizing that that's all well and good when you have bench players worth 50, 60 million. When you have to perhaps be a little bit more, let's just say, conservative with how much change you can make, maybe you can't take that approach. And I think that's all what I saw. What I really liked about yesterday, I guess to your point as well, Alex, is that it was the same structure that we played against Sheffield United. So there was a couple of, I think it was just Martinelli, right, which was the change. Yeah. But the structure was exactly the same. And you could see that the familiarity that, everyone had was fantastic. So maybe we'll see it more, Alex. Maybe we'll see that against Fulham and we'll keep going. I think what will be interesting, though, is when Tierney gets fit again, the structure will change. Yeah. And then we get into the same situation, don't we?
Yeah. Who was your man of the match? Could you pick out one particular performance from yesterday, Raj?
I'd probably say Emile Smith-Rowe. Okay. I think that he was at the heart of everything good that we did in that blitz that we had. That period that we just were outstanding for 10 minutes. I thought he was phenomenal in his movement. I think we just look a lot better when he's in the team. The way that he combines that energy. If we look at the first goal, for example, It was just persistence. He did not let that chance go. You know, and I think he made the pass for Saka, which won the penalty, and you know, his movement I thought was fantastic. So if I had to signal someone out, and also remember he scored the disallowed goal right before that, right? So if I had to single someone out, it would probably be him.
Yeah, I actually didn't realize on playback for the Pepe goal, Emerson, you can see that he was trying to eke some of the cap from that tight spot, and he got 2 nutmegs. He nutmegged 2 of the Slavia Prague players. So I was thinking, oh wow, yeah, Emerson Smith-Rowe. Des, going forward, I know you've been one for to play the youngsters, and we saw Balogun got like 5 minutes, maximum 5 minutes. What do you think should happen now going forward, at least in the Premier League with these youngsters?
To be honest, Slavia Prague, for example, didn't turn up last night. I do agree that, well, I said it last night. Plus, I kept getting Emma Smith-Rowe's name wrong last night, so I apologise for that. But yeah, to be honest, he has tinkered because Bellerin doesn't work with Pepe. Pepe doesn't work with Bellerin. You've got Gabriel can't work with Holding or Mari. He can only seem to play with Louise. So that's why he's been doing a lot of tinkering, I think. But going forward, yeah, I think you've got to go with this 11 with slight changes if needed, because this is a strong 11. They've proved it last night. They've got the mentality, and there's a bit of consistency about it as well. So I think Balogun will fit in. Aziz could definitely fit in. You know, Martinelli, obviously. I mean, he like my friend Colin says, he's lightning in a bottle, you know. Laka always plays well with the kids. If anybody doesn't really fit in at the moment, it has to be Alba. Obviously, I'm going to say Odegaard fits in because, you know, I'm his biggest fan. But also, he does fit in because his touch and his pass, as I've said before, are sublime. Last night as well, I thought for the first 10 minutes, I don't know what you guys thought, but I thought we were trying to pass the ball through the eye of a needle in the first 10 minutes. And then we played a lot more freely. And when Arsenal play a lot more freely, that's when we pass the ball around a lot better. I also feel that we did use every part of the pitch last night. And I think that's what Arsenal's got to start doing at home. They've got to start using every part of the pitch and backing each other up. So, for example, they have to realise they're a team and not just a one-man band or a couple of players, you know. So, you know, you've got your defence need to back your midfield up and carry on your midfield to your strikers. But this 11 seems to do that. And also, we've got some real good players in there with Emma Smith-Rowe and Saka. I mean, Saka's control with the ball at his feet is something else. I really enjoy watching. I enjoy watching the two of them play. I just wish that Emma Smith-Rowe didn't burn out in the second half. I mean, but I understand because his work rate is so high. Yeah, he was number 10 last night. He was in the midfield. He was in the defence. He was everywhere. So he is going to get tired. But I just wish he could last a whole 90 minutes. That would be brilliant, you know. And that's how I think we need to go forward. We need to keep with the youngsters. Yes, we need experience in there as well, because when Mary's in defence, we seem to play really well as well. He just seems to solid the back four up. And I watched the open mic thing with Xhaka, and I understand why he was captain, but I also understand why he was stripped of it. But I actually like him. I mean, I know it is Tierney's position, but I actually like him where he's playing at the moment. I think he's got more time to think. He's watching the game a lot more. He's talking to the players a lot more. And I think that's how we should go in the future. Just keep this 11 and do little tweaks when it's needed to be done. You know, I think that is the future at the moment. Because if we win the last games, if we win all the games for the rest of the season, it's going to put us on a high, and it might even set us up for next season with a little bit of positivity because of the tinkering and because of the circumstances this season, we haven't had it good, have we? So that's what I think.
MOBAY, who was your man of the match last night?
Smith-Rowe was pretty good. I think Nicola Pepe was pretty good too from his what he did was pretty good. Lacazette, you could give it to him too. He got 2 goals, so you could pick from those three. For me, you definitely could pick from those three. But I just think, man, I don't want to. I don't like the counting, a player out just because another one is on form. That's where I have like an issue with people when me and them get into argument all the time, and I just don't see it because I just think that our strikers, when they play with wingers, it don't matter who it is. It's not that Lacazette is better with the kids. Lacazette is just better with wingers on the field. Aubameyang is better with wingers on the field where they can stay central. In the last round when we were desperately in need of goals, Lacazette started. Aubameyang started the second leg up front as a striker. He scored 2 goals and put us in this position where we're at now. It's not that he doesn't play well with the kids. It's just that he doesn't play well as a left winger. Every time he gets in the team, Mikel Arteta try to fit him and Lacazette in the team. You can't really remember a few games that he played up front. Every time Aubameyang plays as a striker, it's always against one of these Liverpool or Manchester City. You never see it in a game like this. He's always trying to fit them in together. I think, like I said, strikers. Both of them are strikers. I don't want to get into comparison because 2 months ago, everybody wanted Lacazette out of Arsenal. It was a promote Balogun, get rid of Lacazette because he couldn't score. He couldn't hit a barn door from a mile out. He couldn't. And then people was saying get rid of Lacazette. Now he's on form. Everybody's saying get rid of Aubameyang. That's the thing. You need different kind of players. They're 2 different players. Lacazette is great at link-up play, and that is working for us right now. Nothing is wrong with that. But at some point, he's not going to be having a good time. So you're just going to throw one of these young players in there. The argument with Aziz, I watched him in the under-21 game the other day. And the 2 goals that were conceded came from him giving the ball away close to our goal. You see what I'm saying? He still made mistakes. We can't just watch a couple clips on YouTube or watch a couple clips. I don't watch him a lot, but the game that I watched the other day, the first goal came from his mistake, giving the ball away, trying a trick that we blame him for all the time. He did that and lost the ball. That's what I'm saying. We can't really just count these players. Yep. I was getting a phone call. We can't just discount these players just because we have these youngsters coming up now. We have to take time with these youngsters for sure. So I don't want to just Granit Xhaka playing on the left back position. He does look good right now. But if you look at the way we're set up, Mikel Arteta set up, we're protecting Xhaka a lot. Against a better team, I don't think he's going to have that kind of I hope I'm wrong, but against a better team with better wingers and a better fullback, I don't think it's long-term solution over there. Because if you look at the game, Ceballos is always on that left wing whenever we're out of position. Always. We have 3 players over there protecting Xhaka. Ceballos is playing on the left when we're out of position. And you have Pepe that's playing on the left wing too. We're protecting him in that left back position. That's why it's not looking so bad. But against team with fullbacks that's overlapping, with wingers that are quick, it's not going to be the same. So I don't want people to look at this and say, oh, Granit Xhaka is playing well at left back. He's playing well because we're protecting him well. Ceballos is literally playing as a left winger when we're out of position. Then he goes in field when we get the ball. That's if you watch the game, that's what he's been doing. That's what he did last week. That's what he did this week. We're protecting Xhaka in that left back position. So I don't want us to get into this comfortable position that, he's the solution at the left back position, because I don't think against better opposition, he's going to look the same playing left back. We've seen him play there before. And it's not even against the greatest opposition. We've seen him play left back and get murdered against Crystal Palace. All they did was switch Zaha to the right-hand side of the field, and next thing you know, he gave away a penalty. We've seen this before. You see what I'm saying? So against better wingers, I don't think he's the solution at left back. Probably the best that we have now. Far as with Tierney out, we put ourselves in this position without signing a replacement left back. But we go, man. We move. Arteta deserves credit for what he's doing because, like I said, he sets the team up, and you can see that the players are giving instructions. I like the way Ceballos is playing. I'm not a big fan of Ceballos. I don't think he should be in the starting 11. I'm really not. I'm always waiting for him to make a mistake. He holds on to the ball too long for me. I hate it. I was watching the game last night, and he just gets the ball, and he turns around 57 times before he passes it, and then he make a simple 2-yard pass. I'm like, you could have did that 5 minutes ago. Like that's what frustrates me the most about it, but I don't trust Ceballos. But as far as what we set up now, I agree with what the enforcer said, man. You just make small changes. We cannot play the same 11 every game. Playing Sunday and Thursday, we cannot play same 11. I can see why he changes it a lot. We have centre back pairing that work better with each other. Gabriel looks so much better when he played with Luis. When him and Holden play together, I don't think they look good enough. So now we have to have. You're looking at Holden as an inexperienced defender, which he's not, but I still look at him like that because he plays like a kid that's still learning the game, and he looks better with Marie because Marie's that calm head around him. Gabriel looked better with Luis, even though Luis is not the best of defenders. He's a great leader. We can't take that away from him. So when he play with Gabriel, he does look better. But I think that left back position is a big worry because I don't think Granit Xhaka is going to be the solution for the end of the season. I think against better opposition, I think we will get exposed on that side. But let's hope I'm wrong.
Yeah. Before I go to Larry, just a couple of points on MOBAY. With Xhaka, I completely agree. He's not a long-term solution for the left back position there. I guess if we protect him like we did last night, it could possibly work. But long-term, no.
Can I just build on that, Alex? Can I just build, because I agree with you saying. I think the thing that we should realize is that what Arteta did, he didn't basically just go, do you know what, I don't have Kieran Tierney, maybe Xhaka's going to work at left back if I give him lots of protection. I think what Arteta did, what you have to give credit to him, is he basically changed the system, because I think he said that he probably looked at it and thought, it doesn't matter who I play instead of Kieran Tierney, it's not going to be as good playing the system that we are currently playing. So there's no point me just playing an inferior method. I'm going to change the system that's going to get the best out of the players I have at the moment. So with Xhaka playing in that role, he's not playing as a traditional left back in any way. Like, he's not getting down the byline. He's not getting into the final third. That's not the type of left back he's playing in this system. In fact, quite often they're basically playing as a 3, not a 4. And so it's completely correct that he's not getting exposed, because actually he's getting all kinds of protection. But I think we have to add the layer onto that, which is that we're actually playing a completely different system, which is facilitating that and keeping this attacking potential. So, just to conclude, I agree actually with all what the guys are saying. I think we almost have to play this system because it's clearly working, carry on playing it. But I think if Tierney comes back, then the difficult thing is that it's not even just a like-for-like change. When Tierney comes back, the whole system has to change again. I'm not necessarily saying that's a bad thing or the wrong thing. I'm saying that ultimately that's probably what's going to have to happen.
They are saying that Tierney's out for the rest of the season, though, aren't they?
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
I'm still holding on hope, because I haven't seen it confirmed. I'm still holding on, man. There's no way we can go to the end of the season without Tierney. I'm not a big fan of that.
So then a question to you guys then is, what do you do? Here's a scenario. We play this system, we get really good results, we get to the final of the Europa League, and Tierney is fit. Yeah? Tierney is fit, he's ready to play. What do you do?
I'll be honest.
Hey, my mic is mute.
I'll be honest. I'll be blunt as well, mate. You play him. You play him, because
so you play him and change the system.
Yeah, you would have to.
Yeah.
I think yes.
Okay.
I think you would have to for the stability. Yeah, I would play him. Because as MOBAY makes a very good point, yeah, Xhaka is very well protected. They were playing very high last night. Sparta Prague, they were pushing high. Yeah, I would play him, because he knows what he's doing in that position, and you know that he's going to run forward and try and cross balls in. So, yes, I would. To answer your question, I would play Tierney.
I wouldn't. If it
You
ain't
wouldn't?
broke, don't fix it. If it's working, if it's worked, having that combination there, why change it?
Especially if he came back 3 games before and had a few games before the final, and that's a different story. Match fit Kieran Tierney gets into our team. I don't care what we have to do. I would change it. If he's in there for 3 games, gets a run a game, then I'm changing it. The problem I don't have a problem with Tierney coming back in. The problem I have is Ceballos starting in the 11 because we tried to accommodate Saka. I do not trust Ceballos, man. I'm sorry, man.
I'm totally with you. I don't trust Ceballos. I said it the other day. I'd give him his plane fare back to Real Madrid. Honestly, I would. You know.
And we got to give Partey playing in this lone defensive midfielder role by himself. He's looked good, man. He's looked
don't get me
good.
started on Park. Don't get me started on Park.
He's looked good the past couple of games, sitting there by himself, just breaking up play and spreading the ball. He has looked good, so we have to give him credit too.
In the words of Chuck D, don't believe the hype.
let's not. Yeah. Larry, how are you?
I'm fine. I'm sorry. I think I miscalculated the time. I thought we're still 1 hour ahead. Only when I saw your mail, I said, then I rushed in. Sorry to come in late. So
we can just about hear you. Is your headphones plugged in? I can't hear you.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me like that?
That's better.
That's better. Okay.
That's better.
I'm sorry I came late because I thought that they were still 1 hour ahead until I saw your mail. That's why I came late. I'm sorry about that. MOBAY GOONER, my man, the chairman of the board.
Big up, Larry. Big up. I was about to send for you, man. You already know, bro. Every time I'm on the show, I was on the show last time. You were supposed to be here. You ain't showed up, brother. I was about to take a plane, come over there. You know.
Yeah, not bank. How are you?
Tell me, Larry. Long time. I wish I could hug you.
Yeah, I wish so. I wish so. Honestly, I miss you guys. I don't think we have spoken this year. Mr. Enforcer, the Enforcer man. I used to read all your messages. I didn't know. I've never seen your face. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Don Larry, man. Pleasure to meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Same here.
There's a lot of love in this. There's a lot of love in this room, and it's all good.
Yes, concerning the issue I met on ground, like the question of that Ninja asked, if at that point, once if the players or if the system is bringing good result, I will not play Tierney. If the system on ground now is yielding good results, I won't play Tierney because one is just coming back from injury. And to me, it seemed that he's becoming an injury prone. When he plays 4 or 5 games, he's gone back to injury. He's becoming an injury prone. Yes, he's a very good player, but he's injury prone. And now, if the system is working, I will not play Tierney for now till the rest of the season. Because you don't change a winning side. You don't change a winning side. And I think the pattern that when I saw the pattern yesterday, I saw 3-5-2. I knew that the midfield has been choked because of our problem we have at the back, most especially the left back. There's no way Granit Xhaka can be a good left back. He's a midfielder. He cannot be a good left back. Yes, really. Yesterday he was protected yesterday. So I support what MOBAY GOONER said concerning him. It's not that he's very good at the back. He's using his strength. He's using his strength as a midfielder, and also he was supported by the other defenders. So, but kudos to the manager for taking that risk. You know, it became a very good risk, and it was good, and it gave us 2 good results. Since how many times have we had such a result? You know, so I give credit to the manager for taking that risk, and it worked out for us. So if the system is working, there's no need to change it. How many do we have left? So it's okay for me.
Let me ask you a question, Larry. So you're saying that if the system is working, if the players are eking out the results, you would not change the 11. So what happens?
I will not. No, I said I will not play Tierney.
Right. Okay.
Because he's just coming from injury. That's number one. He should be mass trusty. And how many games do we have left? If this system is working, there's no need to bring Tierney into it because that means you have to rotate again. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. All right. North Bank, do you play order if we reach the final?
I think you have to play players on form, to be honest. And I think that what we know is, aside from the system that Arteta first played when he first took over at Arsenal, that was the only time that Oba and Laka worked together, because Oba was, although starting from the wide left, because we had the three at the back, and Oba ended up playing in a lot of central positions in that formation. And that formation was really designed to get the best out of Oba, and he was scoring lots of goals. But now this season, it's been more about the collective, and whoever plays out on that wide left has a lot of responsibilities outside of getting in the box and scoring. And Oba is a striker. I think MOBAY made that point, he's a striker. And if he's not playing as a striker, I don't think he should be in the team just because he's captain to put him as a left winger. So if Lacazette is scoring goals, then Lacazette needs to be playing a striker. I think we need to play whoever's the form player.
Okay. Des is gone. Des, for you, do we play Oba if he's available?
Well, I just want to expand on the point that Oba is a striker. And if he's not a striker, what else does he give the team? He doesn't really give the team anything else. His work rate's pretty diabolical. So would I play him? No, I'd probably go with Lacazette.
Okay.
Yeah, I would. And just MOBAY made the fair point of, yes, I know I said I'd play Tierney, but I forgot to say that if he'd come back early, I agree with MOBAY. If he came back early and got a few games under his belt, then I would definitely play him, yes, over Xhaka. So can I ask you guys a question? Do you want to keep Xhaka, or do you want him to go? I know how Alex feels. I know how I feel the same, but I just wondered what you guys felt.
Shall I go?
Yeah. Anybody.
I think that we've probably seen Xhaka's best season at Arsenal this season, to be honest. But I do think that ultimately, if we are to get to the next level, I think we can upgrade on Xhaka. That doesn't necessarily mean that I want him to leave the club, because I think he's a really great influence on the squad. I think he is a good player and he has lots of good qualities. And as we've seen, he's been able to just take on this left-sided defensive position, grasp it with both hands and just say, I'm going to do the best job I possibly can, reminiscent of Flamini in that European, the Champions League run when we got to the final, right? So no, I don't want him out of the club, but I think we can upgrade on him in the central midfield position.
Before I answer that, I don't want this to slip my mind, but you guys always talk about Aubameyang and he doesn't offer nothing to this team but scoring goals. As a striker, you provide assists and you score goals. We are trying to make him a left back to run back and clear a ball off for a line. But because he doesn't do that, everyone says his work rate is crap. I don't get where this is coming from. How much assists does Aubameyang had since he's been here? He came on the last game, the one goal that we scored, he got an assist. That's the thing that I don't get. If he doesn't score, we say that he doesn't provide anything to the team. But when he provides assists over a periods of game, then we say that the only thing, he doesn't score anymore, so he's not. How can he win? Tell me, how can this guy win? Right, what do we expect from him? Because if he's giving us 20 goals, it's not good enough. And if he's giving us 7, 8 assists a season, it's still not good enough. So do we need him to play left back and defend and put in a slide tackle and do that? That's what we need, because he's not the same player as Lacazette. That's where I'm trying to get at. Aguero doesn't do that. That doesn't mean he's not a striker, one of the best strikers in the league. You know what I'm saying? Every striker is different. Lacazette is not Aubameyang. Vice versa. Neither of them. He's not going to run around like Martinelli. No one in our team run around like Martinelli. You just have different players. So because he's playing on the left wing and he's not shouting and running around and playing left back and running back and right back and go back deep in our box, he's a striker. He provides goals and an assist. That's what we pay him to do. If he doesn't score and if he doesn't assist, but he's staying left back and protect Tierney all day and he does well and he shouts around without his goal and assist, are we okay with that? What do we need from this guy? Like, how does he win? Because the argument just keeps circulating around him that he doesn't work hard enough. He only scores goal. But that's what we needed last year. That's what won us the trophy last year, was his goals. You see what I'm saying? This year, he's not scoring a lot. He's providing assists. He's still got goals, by the way, more than a lot of players in this team. But how does he win? Because we don't expect him to play left back, do we? We don't expect him to be the best defensive player in the league. He's not that kind of a player. And it's okay to have different players. I'm not saying that he shouldn't work hard. When he plays as a striker, his goal is to score goals. He closes down the defenders. He waits and he gets on the end of stuff. That's just what he does. He's a striker. He's not Lacazette. Lacazette is different from him. Lacazette comes deep, collect the ball, spread it around. It's okay to have two different strikers. Nothing is wrong with that. Some games it's not going to work. We've seen Lacazette have bad games just because all they have to do is clog up the midfield where he can't come deep, and he's lost. He's lost in a lot of games. We've seen it, and we've seen it over the period of the season. So how does Aubameyang win? Because you're not going to get him to run around like Martinelli.
Yeah, but
how does he win?
But Morbay, you've got another problem, mate. And I'm being honest with you. And I understand where you're coming from, and I understand your passion, right? But defenders have now worked Auba out. He can't do that shoulder turn anymore. They're waiting for him to do it. He's restricted himself. He needs to change his style a bit. Do you know what I mean?
He needs to change position. What shoulder turn on the left wing?
He does that. He does that, and the defenders have worked him out. They know which way he's going to go, so they're ready for him. That's what. Because
he's playing on the left wing, and we're asking him to be a winger, to take players on the left wing. That's what you're saying, correct?
Yeah. That's correct.
But that's what I'm saying. He's not a winger. As a striker, you get on the end of things. People provide for you. He's trying to do something that he's not supposed to be doing as a striker.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just adding to what you're saying. Yeah, I'm not disagreeing with you, my friend. What I'm saying is, when he's on the wing, yeah, the defenders are catching him out. Now that's as much Arteta's fault as it is Auba's, because Auba should be going to Arteta and saying, "Look, don't put me on the wing. Don't put me on the wing."
But if he does that, the same people that complain about him is going to go back and say he's trying to disrupt the team. That's what I say. He can't win if he does that, because now people are saying that him and Arteta don't seem to be on the right whatever. I don't know where that even coming from. The guy is clearly hasn't been playing. If Arteta leaves him out the team, he's causing eruption, and everything happened since he signed that contract. And I hate fans that look into players' pocket. I hate it. As soon as Ozil signed that contract, everyone turned against him. And we are doing the same thing with Aubameyang now. As a player has a run of bad form, yes, he's had a bad season. Don't get me wrong. He has the best of season. He's been here this is his 4th season now. For the past 3, he's been our best player by a mile. Not because he's have a bad season, one bad season. Everybody want to throw him out of the club. I do not get it. What's going to happen when Saka get a little bit older and we don't have this? He's a youngster. At one point, Saka is going to be 29, 30 years old. What happened when he has a bad season? We're going to do the same thing again?
Yeah. Moby, calm down. You see, what I see in the old issue is this. You can't blame the fan. You know, number one, I criticize this putting Aubameyang in the left wing. He's not a winger. When he was in Dortmund, I remember it was when Dortmund sold Lewandowski to Bayern that they went and brought him. And he has been scoring goals right from the middle. I don't know. I criticize this heavily why they put him on the left wing. Well, you understand. But now, okay, it's been as it is. You cannot blame the fans for being critical on him, because to whom much is given, much is expected. Yes, he's been flying here for the past 2 seasons. Yes, it's true. Look at it in this form, a movie. You employed someone who you felt that he was performing very well, and you increased the salary, you promoted him, and after promotion, you expect him to perform better, to perform more. Then he went down the drain. You won't be happy. You'll be thinking whether you made a mistake. That's part of the fans. So you can't blame the fans for being critical against him, because a lot of money is being paid for him. We knew what we did to hold him down. We knew how people lobbied, the fans lobbied. Everybody was lobbying for him to sign for Barcelona. You understand? Now they gave him the 350,000 per week, and he's not performing. And the same thing with Ozil. So, but on the other hand, you understand? Not every fans understand football like you did. You do. You understand? For putting Aubameyang in the left wing is wrong. He's not a winger, for Christ's sake. He's a straight point person. As a striker, he waits to take on defenders and score goals. Why are we looking for Cam? Why do we have the central midfielders? Just to give the striker ball. Why do we have the left wingers and the right wingers? Not to make crosses to him. But now,
That's
put him on the left
that's
wing.
exactly
He's
where
not,
that's exactly where I'm coming from, Larry.
you
We are
you
getting
understand?
the fact that
on the fan,
they're telling
but,
me they're trying to
but
tell
on the
me that
fans,
he
on the
doesn't take
fans say,
players on the wing.
Guys, one at a time. One at a time.
no, I did not say that. I did not say that. He
I
is
didn't
not
say
a
you. I
natural
didn't say
winger.
you. That's what my guy. That's what my
He didn't
guy
say
just
that,
said. I
Larry.
didn't say
He didn't
you.
say
I
that.
didn't say you,
Guys,
Larry.
one
I
at a
didn't
Yes,
say
time.
you.
you understand? He's not a
Guys,
natural
one at a
winger.
time.
He's a central striker. He's number 9. He's a central striker. So they should put him back in the middle.
But Raj, at the beginning of the season, did Arteta not try to start all in the centre? I think we started him on the left, and then was a try for him to play in a different position. I think for a couple of games, we tried to play all but in the central attacking role, and I think even then
He played only Alex. He played only 2 games in the center, and he scored goals in one of them.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Sorry, Raj. Go on, Raj.
No, I say I think he did. I think so many things get conflated in this conversation. I think at the end of the day, we just do have a case where Aubameyang wasn't on great form at periods this season when he was playing in the centre. But I think the thing that we've always got to come back to is when Oba scores 20 goals a season, it's normal because he does it all the time. When a lot of other strikers score 20 goals a season, it's an exception. This guy scores goals. He's a centre forward. This is what he does. He's one of the greatest strikers in Europe over the last 10 years. And it's not an insult. And it's not an insult to say he's only a striker. That's okay. Would Shevchenko been a good left winger? Would Pipo and Zaghi have played well on the left? Like, whatever. It doesn't take away from the fact that this is a guy who, yes, he's a striker, but on a normal season, he scores 20 goals at least. And so we've just got to accept to a certain degree, he's had a not a great season. There's probably been some reasons. He's just had a very poor season. I think Arteta has tried his best to make it work in different ways. I think he said he's such a good player. I'm going to try and play him on the left. I'm going to try and fit this in. I'm going to try and do this. And things just haven't necessarily worked. And I think there's a narrative almost that there's issues between the player and the manager and, whatever. I really think everyone's looking into this a bit too hard. Like, at the end of the day, this is a world-class player who's club captain, deserved a 350k a week contract because he's that damn good. And he's just not had a very good season. And that's okay. But he's a striker. And I think we can all see that. I think we all agree on that. I think we all agree on that point that he's a striker. I think what it is, Alex, is sometimes it's the subtext when people say he's only a striker. There's a subtext around that, and then sometimes it can be heard as if you're critical of the player. But in reality, I don't think it is a criticism. It's okay to just be a striker.
Yeah, but I think in modern day football, I think you're demanding a lot more from your striker, and that's the problem with Aubameyang. If he's not scoring goals, if he's not closing down defenders, people will pick up on that. Whereas with Lacazette, there's a little bit more to his play. He will come deep. The link-up play, he doesn't score more than 20 goals for us. But for a modern-day striker, you expect a lot more from your striker. And with Aubameyang, for me, what I don't like is people saying, well, last year he scored the goals for us. Last year we got into FA Cup. If it wasn't for him, that was last year. That was last year. We're talking about this season. And he hasn't performed this season for whatever reason it is, whether he's playing out on the left or he's had family problems, but you cannot deny the fact that he hasn't performed to the levels of what we expect from him.
Yep. We all expect him to be great, not good. Good, great, not good, for sure.
Morbay, I understand where you're coming from. I understand your passion, and I respect it. But when I said about the defenders, that's only something that I've noticed. I want him to be a striker. I want him to score 20 goals a season, 30 goals a season. I want him to get the golden boot. I'm not one of those supporters that is going, sack it, get rid of him, right? And I know, see, this is the thing. The Arsenal fan base at the moment, and I said this the other day, right? The Arsenal fan base at the moment is very split. We're very split because people want Arteta out, people want Arteta in, such and such has got to go. We've got to get rid of the deadwood. There's been a lot of negativity around our club this season, our club, right? And I just... You get wrapped up in it, don't you? You do. You're listening to what everybody is saying, and sometimes it clouds your judgment, I wish the fans. Sorry, can I just say this one point? Sorry, my friend. I wish the fans would do what they're good at. Their talent is supporting this team. You need to support this team. Well, it don't matter who puts the shirts on at the end of the day. If they've got the Arsenal badge on their chest, as a supporter, we should support them. Yeah. And we haven't been, I'm not just pointing fingers at certain groups, but as a collective, the Arsenal fans haven't been doing that this season.
Yeah, some fans want some players to fail, and that's what gets on to my fans want. I have a group of fans just want some of our players to fail, and that's what it gets to me. But you know what? I'm going to end this conversation with saying this. At the beginning of the season, when Aubameyang was playing on the left, we wouldn't create nothing. Raj was on the show, and I put the question. We was talking about putting Aubameyang in the middle of the field, and I put this question in, and I said, if we put Aubameyang in the middle, everybody was complaining. We need to play him as a striker. Arteta does not know what he's doing. He need to play him as a striker. And I said, and you can go back to the video, and I said, what happened when we put Aubameyang as a striker and he doesn't score the goals? Then what? Remember I said that to you, Raj? I said, then what? Then what we do? What we do then? And that's the same thing that's happening now.
I can't remember what we said. I can't remember.
Because it didn't fix the issue. It don't fix the issue. That's what I'm saying. Moving him from the left to the center doesn't fix the issue.
No. Yes, I agree. I remember you said it. I remember vividly. It was an argument. Yes, just like this. You said it. But if that day, I remember too that I have to explain every player. I told you that is why we are talking about Tierney today now, because he's a very good left back player. You understand? We are talking about Partey because he's very good as a defensive midfielder. Every player has his own potential. They have what they are good at. They have position they are good at. Okay, if we move him, that's like we are saying. I am saying he's not a left winger, so we should not expect him to be scoring goal from the left. You understand? If we move him to the center and he still could not perform, that means he's no longer performing. Then we can be able to be hard and we'll be able to criticize him very well and talk to him. But now he has an excuse. People like me are defending him. I have a case to defend him because he's playing from the left. Put him in the middle where he has the potential, where he knows what to do, what he knows how to do best. If he did not perform, then I can rate him that he's a bad player. You understand me? So now we can't totally criticize him because he has a part to fall back to.
Yeah, like I think Dez's point about the Arsenal fan base, one of the problems is Arsenal Twitter is a really bad representation of the fan base, and it would have you believe that it's very split. I really, if I just look at the season ticket holder populace, like I really don't think it's that split, and I really don't think the season ticket holder populace is that overwhelmingly negative about some of the issues that we seem to kind of like seems to come up a lot on the Arsenal Twitter sphere. And I think that we need to, what players are allowed to have bad seasons. It happens. It doesn't make them bad players. It doesn't make them bad players. Like, and again, this goes back to my Oba point. Scoring 20 goals a season is normal for Oba. So we're getting on his back because this season he's not like banging them at the same rate. But that is just because he's such an elite player. And I think we shouldn't, just because he's having this season now, write him off and just say, like, okay, he's getting worse. He's not good enough. We should never have offered him this contract, this, that, and the other. Like, look, he may adapt his game like all top players do. And next season, he may come back with another 20 plus goals. So that's not right.
He's got the money, so he doesn't want to play anymore.
All that kind of stuff's nonsense.
That's what gets onto my skin, bro. I'm telling you. Every time someone says that, ever since he gets paid, he doesn't want to play anymore. I don't think he's trying not to score. He's just in bad form. I don't like when people do that. Every time we give a player, he's going to be Partey next because he's the second top earner at the team. So in a Aubameyang league, we're going to turn on Partey soon too. Just remember. It's okay.
It's okay to criticize it. That's the thing. I think there's
not a problem. I'm the main one that said he's having a really bad season. He does not deserve to be starting for us right now. The best striker for us right now in this moment is Lacazette. Right now, because he's playing well. Lacazette should be starting. Whether we get to the semifinal, whether we get to the final, what we have on the field right now, the 11 players that started yesterday, well, we can talk about Tierney when it gets here, but the 11 player that started yesterday, I think you should just You can take a player out. You can give Lacazette can't play the rest of the season every single game. That's what you have. You put your strikers in. He might go cold for 2 or 3 games. Like Aubameyang might come in and score 2 or 3 goals. That's what you do. You have a squad for a reason. So that's what I'm saying. He's having a bad season, but I don't want to. Don't tell me because he got paid. That's why he's not playing well. It doesn't make sense.
Can I just
Chairman? You know, nobody, everybody cannot think like you. Everybody cannot understand like you. Sometimes when I see some comments, I just laugh it off. I say, is this one all right? Is this man well? How can he say such a comment? You know, people think differently. And that is why it's difficult to satisfy the public. You cannot satisfy the public. You can only do your best. And I know personally that Aubameyang is not happy with in this situation he found himself, because he wants also to score goals for Arsenal. So many times I see him shaking his head, not happy about the issue. But yes, like Ninja said, every player has bad seasons.
Can I just say, right?
Yeah, very
I genuinely don't care how much players get paid, because end of the day, they've signed the contract, MOBAY, yeah? They've signed the contract, so that's what they get paid, yeah? It's whoever makes the deal on that respect. But I also want to say, to defend Orba, he has had a lot of issues this season that probably have set his mind into other places. For example, his mother's not been well, as you know, all this sort of stuff. That you're not going to play football properly if things are playing on your mind. And now, bless him, he's got malaria. I mean, wish that on my worst enemy. Do you know what I mean? And I can understand why you get frustrated. All right, I can totally understand, because like you, I'm an Arsenal supporter, mate. And he is a top class player. He's just not playing as a top class player this season. That's the only thing I'll say in a negative towards him. I don't wish him any bad will. I want him to stay at Arsenal, because yes, he can score those 20 goals a season, or 20 plus goals a season, you know. But I understand, honestly, that he's had issues with family issues and illness and whatever else. I understand that. But I also understand why you're annoyed about it. So, you know, I'm just trying to show some respect to both of you.
Let me go into the live chat for the first time on this one. I've got Russ Morgan who, who says, good evening, Russ. Good evening. It's spelled with a V, not a B. Connor Young says, I'm fired up. I can't wait. Let's do this, Alex. We have light at the end of this Arsenal tunnel, so long as it doesn't get plugged with those that cannot be bothered, including, I know who he's talking about, because there are plenty of them. I'm not going to mention anybody's names before I upset anybody. Who else do we have here? He also goes to say that we need to free the children. Snartinelli, woohoo! Raj, were you surprised he didn't get to start against Slavia Prague?
No, because he kind of had that. He landed awkwardly on his knee, didn't he, against Sheffield United, and he was about to get taken off before he scored the goal. And you can see why Arsenal are going to be really careful with him. He was out for a long time. I think they want to try and wrap him up in cotton wool as much as possible, especially because it's a case where I think Arteta will look at it and go, this is a top player. I really rate him and he could be a massive player for us, but I don't desperately need him right now. And he's probably therefore, looking at that going, I just need to do the best thing for the player's fitness and long-term fitness. So I wasn't surprised, actually, Alex.
Okay. DWG says, whoops, sorry, what am I doing here? My man, Alex, Mr. Ninja, we've got Northback Ninja, Mr. Ninja, and Des. Hello. Everton Patterson says Lacazette time now, so don't bash anyone, his game up. Now everyone has them time. Yeah, everyone has their time. Maybe.
So I was saying, speaking of Everton, they just equalised against Spurs.
Alex, what has Spurs done to you? The people down the road. People down the road. our failure companion down the road.
Kamara says, how much Arteta sticking to his tactics? Des?
So again, what was the question? Sorry.
No, it wasn't a question, it was just a statement. Man of the match for Kumari was Arteta because he stuck to his tactics.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Gary says Saka can't play a full Premier League season with cups, etc. Emerson is at least a season behind him. He gets fatigued very, very quickly. As much as I don't want to, we have to be patient. These players are 1 to 3 years from their prime. Let's see what I can pick up here. Alistair Braun says, I think the selection was great last night. Let's keep this lineup until the end of the season, Larry.
When Shaka made a blunder next game, we want to kill him. That's just the thing. This is one thing with our fans. Yes, we are keeping the same team, but when Shaka make a blunder at that left side, then we'll tell you see them telling us Shaka out, Ateta out, this one in. You see, that's what I'm saying about the players. You understand? So I'm in doubt, but I pray that we'll be able to keep the player. And what's wrong with Cedric Suarez at the left again? Why are we not playing him at the left? Because I cannot totally guarantee Shaka on that left. If we meet teams like Chelsea, who has a team that has a vibrant players, Christian Pulisic will take him to the floor. I'm telling you. So we have to be very, very careful about Shaka being on the left.
Hey Larry, I think Suarez is getting punished for what he did last game, and I'm totally okay with it. What he did the last game in the first leg, that ball that he gave away, and the manager, listen, that was a stupid decision. I wish he would do it to every player. I wish he would do it to every player.
Don't make mistake.
He does. I'm just saying, the last game, we're talking about the last game that he played at left back, that goal that we gave away against Sparta in the first leg, with that amount of time left on the clock, that was a brain dead mistake.
Yes, but I know. Apart from that, he's been very good player. He has been very good player. Any part to play him, he's been very, very vibrant. We should not always look only at the negative side. This is what tires me. Yes, he made a mistake. Yes, every player does that.
MOBAY.
So
MOBAY, leave Suarez alone, man. Leave him alone.
Well, he could have belted it.
I didn't say anything bad about him. I'm just saying, I don't think when a player make a mistake, it's next man up. If you don't play well, next man up. And listen, Shaka is playing well. Until Shaka make a mistake in that position, until we mess up in this, what we have now, keep it like it is. That's all I'm saying.
I agree with MOBAY.
Several times. I thought I've done mistake several times on the starting lineup, and they got us beaten. So we should not punish Cedric for doing that mistake. And thank God we still overcame the same team. Well, we showed them we are Arsenal.
I agree with MOBAY, because end of the day he could have hoofed it 50 yards up the pitch and they wouldn't have scored. So I think you should pay for your mistakes if they lead to goals.
There's a comment here from Colin. If he doesn't get 20 goals, will we get some of the 350 back?
I'm not. Does this guy understand contract? Does he understand what a contract means? Does he understand what a contract means?
It's all about the money. Okay, it's all about the money.
How about if you give us 30 goals?
That's what it's all this hate on Aubameyang, it's all about the money. It's about the paycheck. And I see someone make a comment about his cars the other day. First of all, he flew his cars from Germany. Arsenal didn't buy him those cars. Okay, I'm gonna let you guys know that. Those cars that he had them before he came here. Well, people think he's living this lavish lifestyle because of Arsenal. He was doing it before Arsenal.
So what are they going to say about Ronaldo, who has jet and has fleet of cars? Anybody who says that is stupid. How can you talk about somebody who has cars? If I have such money, I will buy cars. What's wrong with that? It's his money. He doesn't have jet. He doesn't have jet yet. Pogba has jet. A lot of them has jet.
North Bank, here's a question for you. Actually, for the whole panel. It says, Dear Alex, my question to the panelists is, if Arsenal lose the semi-finals, how many would we keep? How many would keep Arteta, or they would be Arteta out? So yeah,
of course, as Arsenal, I know Arsenal fans. The next will be Arteta out. I know, I expect that. But there are a lot of people who will not think in the same direction. You understand? So we expect that. It's not new. We expect that. People will say Ateta out, Shaka out. I have seen people who say Leno is not good. I've seen so many comments saying Leno is bad. You know, those are Martinez people. You know, if you see Martinez supporters, Martinez fans, up till now, they are still saying that Leno is not good. You know, so I expect that, Alex. No, it's not new. It will happen. People will say it. Ateta out. We lost semi-final. Yes, Ateta out. But we know who he is. And we know that it's not everything is not Ateta's fault. But
for you, Larry,
everybody wants to win.
But Larry, for you, if we lose the semi-final, what do you think about Arteta? Should he stay? Should he go?
I will look at it from two perspectives. One, you know, Mr. Good Evening knows Arsenal very well. He has been our coach. You understand? He has been our coach. Then for Arteta to take us to semi-final and lose, I will not say Arteta out. Because let's be frank, he does not have the players. He does not have the players yet. And also, most of the players are not his players. I kept on telling fans this. They are not his players. Every coach has pattern of play. So he buys players that suit his pattern. If he fails, if he takes us to the final and lose, he has even tried. For me, he has tried.
For you, North Bank?
No, I keep Arteta. It depends on the manner of how things turn out and whatever. I think there's more. The devil's in the detail, put it that way. But I feel like I'm really bought into this. Like, I'm not saying I'm right, but I feel like we're going somewhere. I think we're part of a journey. And as a supporter, look, I think, Alex, the way I look at it is, I'm going to be a supporter of this club for the rest of my life. And it's, you know, and let's hope, touch wood, that's a long time. And I'm not trying to look at it as success on a season by season basis. I want to feel part of something. I want to feel part of something that I buy into, and I buy into what we're doing at the moment. I really like that we're transitioning from, you know, a squad that, you know, it's really being evolved. You know, we've seen a lot of change in the squad over the last year, a lot of change in the tactics. I believe that the tactics that Arteta is trying to do, the approach that he's trying to take it's got a good ceiling. So I think there's a lot of potential, and I'm willing to wait it out. And I certainly wouldn't get rid of him just because he lost in the semi-finals. And I think Larry's point's a really good one. There's no I'm not admitting defeat here. I think we should beat Villarreal, but there's no shame losing to Unai Emery's Villarreal. Unai Emery has played 21, I believe, 2-leg ties in the Europa League, and he's never lost. 21 2-leg ties, right? He's never lost. This is a guy with a better record in the Europa League than anyone else. This is a good manager with a good CV, and like Larry said, knows us quite well, knows the players quite well. So it wouldn't be a shame. We still should win, but it wouldn't be a shame, and it's not a sackable offence.
Okay.
But we'll beat him. We'll beat him this time. We are going to beat him.
Booba, do you want to say something?
No, Arteta in, man. That's it. MOBAY don't want to say nothing. These players are still here. We bring in another manager. These same players are going to be here next year. Okay, there's nothing is going to change. It's just going to. We seen it happen with Emery. We see it happen with Arteta now. Until we start, and we making these changes slowly. I know we want to win now, but we have to try and be patient. And let's give him next year at least. I wouldn't say him out though. No, for sure.
I would say Arteta in. Because one, I think he is doing the best he can with what he's got, and secondly, who would take the job? If he left tomorrow, who would take the job?
I would.
I can't think of anybody apart from me, you, MOBAY, Northback Ninja. You know, us as a collective, being as a management team. You know what I mean? I can't see anybody going, yeah, I'll take the Arsenal job. Give it to me.
Nah, I think plenty of managers would want to come to it's Arsenal, man. I mean, it's pretty bad, but there's going to be some takers out there for the job. I don't think we're at that point. We're at that point where we're that scarred of a club that managers wouldn't want to come in, but we just can't be. If they want to go to a club that's, if you look at a club like Watford, I'm just going to use them as an example. The amount of manager that they get rid of. in short space of time. We just don't want to turn into that club. I supported Emery when he was here. When he was here, I backed Emery for the first season. I backed him for the second season. Even when we collapsed out the top 4 and lost the Europa League, I backed him and I said, we cannot get rid of Unai Emery because he's trying something. But then we went into the next season and we got to Christmas. And then we was in the bottom of the league, and then everything just changed. It was just a whole different manager from who was here 2 years ago. That's the reason why at that point I said that. The thing with Arteta is you can see what he is trying to do. He hasn't done it yet, but let's give him this season. Next season, it's got to be some question on his head next season. We can't finish 10th again next season. Let's be honest. We can't finish. We can't come in. We can't be 10th, 11th, 9th, 8th again next season. Definitely, there's going to be some questions asked if this happens again. So I don't want to. I'm blindly supporting Arteta, but I like the direction that we're going in now. The Premier League is pretty much over. We have seen teams had bad season like this. We've seen Chelsea happen to Chelsea. We see Manchester United finish 8th. We see Chelsea finish 10th, then won the Europa League. We've seen it happen before. So let's just hope. I'm just praying that this is our bad season, and next season it gets better. But next season we'll talk about in or out. But right now, this season, I don't think nothing should change because it's not going to change much for the club.
I agree.
We haven't mentioned the board. We haven't mentioned the board as well, though, have we, here? I mean, I'm not going to get into it, but we haven't mentioned the board or the owner. You know, people don't. They're as much to blame as anybody else in my eyes. I don't know what you guys think, but that's what I think.
Yeah. We'll probably cover that on another easy talk. I need to go into for the last time,
that's
guys.
That's cool.
Oda Donkey says, Northback Ninja, calm them down. What happened?
Yeah, you guys, everyone calm down, for God's sake.
I'm cool, Ninja. I'm cool.
Anyway, here's one of them from Santiago. MOBAY, where's your Hennessy, man? Where's your Hennessy?
I quit drinking. No more drinking for me. No more drinking.
I forgot, MOBAY. I didn't ask. I'm sorry. I didn't ask you.
No worries. I got it.
Dear me. Right. So Sunday, last segment now. We're going to be back in Premier League action against my second favourite team, Fulham, at home. Quickly, guys, if you would like to give a prediction, it's okay. If you don't want to, I'll still push you for a prediction. North Bank.
I'm going to go with 2-1. I think that there'll be a little bit of hangover. You know, we've had 2 great performances, a bit of a fantastic result in Europe. I think there'll be a little hangover, but Fulham and I quite like them too, Alex. Their training ground's actually on my road, and I've got a soft spot for them, but they're really bad, and they've lost 4 games in a row, and they can't score goals. So like I really we really, even hangover or not, we really should be winning. But I'm gonna go with 2-1. I'm gonna go 2-1.
Okay. Guys, for you.
Depending who's on the pitch, 3-1.
All right, Larry, for you.
I'm going for 2-0. I want us to keep the clean sheet.
That's a good point, actually. MOBAY, for you, man.
3rd clean sheet in a row for Leno. 3rd clean sheet in a row for Leno. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Ryan might play on Sunday.
1.
What?
Ryan might play. Matt Ryan.
Matt Ryan is a backup goalkeeper. Let him stay there for a little bit. We'll talk about that next season.
That guy is being punished. That guy is being punished for not allowing us to score a goal, for stopping a goal for us last season, and he was jumping on the field.
I think he's a very good backup goalkeeper. I think he can provide competition for Leno. I really do. I really do think he can provide, what Martinez provide with Leno for his competition. I just don't think that we're going to change it this point of the season to put in a whole new goalkeeper. But I hope he stays. I hope he stays. I hope he stays next season. For sure. I really do like.
I also do. I know. Yes. I watched some of his games last season. Yes, I knew how he stopped a goal against us, and he was jumping. I felt bad that day, but he's a very good goalkeeper. I know. I watched his game.
All right, so we are done on this particular easy talk. It was got a little bit heated towards the middle, but it was the easy talk. That's why we called it the easy talk. If you'll answer that question, but guys, it's been wonderful to have you, the crazy gang, back. North Bank.
Alex. Before you close, you see, Arsenal is going to be. They are going to have the deadliest front line next season. I'm telling you, they are going to have the deadliest front lines next season. The Saka was there, and Smith will be there. Balogun is going to come in very hard. I'm telling you. Balogun is going to come in very hard. I'm telling you. Martinelli is going to play very well next season. So our front line next season will be very deadly and very mobile.
Okay, so what, top 4 next season, Larry?
Yes. Yes.
Do you want to put a bet on that? Do you want to put a bet on that?
Yes. we have top 4.
No. Anyway, let me say my goodbyes. MOBAY, chairman of the board, really good to have you back, man. And you're still on the road.
Man.
Still on the road,
yes, man. It's big up as usual. Yeah, it's good to take a break and then chat with your boys, man. And I will come on this show and I'm gonna defend my strikers. I will die on this hill with Aubameyang. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So I will die on this. I do the same for Lacazette too. Alex can tell you. I'm not a Lacazette hater. When he was in bad form and everyone wanted him so, I told you guys he was a good striker, was just in a bad form. Playing was different. But it's always good to come on the show, man. I appreciate you as always, man. Big up to all the men, them. Larry, Larry, my guy. Finally got Larry on the show. Yeah, as usual. And my guy. The chief in the top corner. I appreciate you, man.
Thank you. I miss you guys. Ninja and MOBAY GOONER. We have not spoken this year, and I miss you guys. I appreciate being here today. And MOBAY, are you in the US?
Yeah, he is.
You're in the US. What part of US are you? Because I might come to US. I want to see you face to face, one-on-one. Which state are you?
Well, I'm all over. I'm in Florida right now. I live in North Carolina, but I'm in Florida right now. I'm enjoying the nice, warm, tropical weathers in Florida.
Oh, okay.
meet me in London because I'm going to visit. I'm going to the Emirates. I'm telling you, bro. Meet me in London. I'm going.
I cannot guarantee that because I'm not coming to UK anytime soon. Because my 2 daughters are in the US, so I visit them often and often. And one is in New York and one is in Washington State. So they are too far apart. But anytime I come, I will make sure I get hold on you. You understand? We'll see one-on-one.
Nice one.
Ninja.
I want to say my goodbye. Larry.
Enforcer, continue to enforce for us, right? Enforcer, continue to enforce for us.
Alex, is this your show? Is it his show?
Larry giving the out. Larry giving the outro. Alex, don't even worry about it. Keep on, Larry. Just go. Go to the next person.
Alex, get control. Get control, Alex.
North Bank, thank you so very much for coming back on this one. Hope I get the invite on your podcast sometime soon.
Yeah, as I said, we haven't had any guests yet, and that's not the way. But please, you can be the first. Grateful for for being on, and if anyone else wants to check out my channel, it's the Arsaholics podcast. Be grateful if anyone could subscribe. We're way early on our evolution. We are nowhere near as big as this channel, but we're just a bunch of season ticket holders who are trying to have a good time and stay positive.
Thank you for the kind words. And last but not least, the enforcer, Des. Thank you for coming back on your second Easy Talk, is it? I think.
Yeah, my second one. Yeah. Grateful to be here. It's been great talking to you guys. Ninja, I'll subscribe to your channel as soon as I get off of here. Okay.
Thank you, my friend. Cheers, Des.
MOBAY, are we cool? Because I love you, brother.
Oh, cool? No, I'm always good. I'm always good, my man. Nah.
Larry,
I'm good. I'm Gucci. Trust me, it's all good over here, my man.
Cool, man. I love you all. Honestly, I do. From the bottom of my heart, I love you all because you all give insight to a lot of things that I don't know about, and I'm grateful for that. And Larry, absolute pleasure to meet you as well. Stay safe, guys. I love you all, and thanks again, Alex, for the opportunity. I really appreciate it.
No worries. So that's it. We were done. That's it. Unless we have another interruption for on Larry. Larry, are you finished?
Okay, you want to make me your assistant now? You want to make me your assistant now? I'm okay. I'm cool. It's all right, man. It's all right, man. I expect. Yes, I expect very soon to be on the show.
All right. So listen, the guys in the live chat, I didn't get to read all the live comments. I do apologize for that. But this is what happens, on the Easy Talk. It's quite difficult to read all the live comments in the live chat. But I hope you enjoyed this segment on the Easy Talk. To my panelists, and if you're new here to seeing Cannon Politics for the first time, please make sure you subscribe. Yeah, be part of the community stroke podcast, I think. Anyway, we're done. If by chance you've been wondering who or what you've been listening to, you've been listening to Cannon Fodder, of course, the channel for Arsenal fans all over this